Oh, no.
I mean, you're the guest.
This is it. Yeah.
Come on.
Did we start? I listened to an episode or two. Love it. Great show. You guys are good. Zach, I'm always a fan.
Sure. Dan's there.
But I don't know exactly how do you guys want to do? Dan, well, of course, Dan, we go way back. We've been in the pictures together.
We do an intro already, so I guess it's the Marin style, which I feel like I learned later. But we just kind of jump in mid.
Got it.
Conversation. I'm always asking people about their guys. I didn't realize that was a Marin thing.
Yeah, no, he locks the gates too, so you got to get that out of the way before you start recording.
I'm constantly shitting my pants.
That's crazy.
How? My brother came to visit, and he really likes Mark Maron. And
who doesn't? Actually, I really enjoy the man.
Oh, I do too. Yeah, I got him the coffee. Coffee.
Oh wow,
that's cool.
That's thoughtful. It's a thoughtful gift.
What's that? What's it called?
No.
Is it called Thinky Bean?
It's called. I think it's
Kinky
just called
beans.
WTF. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I like that the last pod guys had a Mothman brand coffee, right? Like it was the Red Eye blend. It was delicious. Spring Hill Jack coffee. I'm doing an ad for it right now. And
you ever been horny as hell in the afternoon? You ever been a little sleepy though?
Well, they had to change it to like Butterfly Guy coffee because they got sued by like the people who sell Mothman merch.
Oh wow!
Whatever the town is where the bridge collapsed.
Damn,
it's so great. Just to be like, we own that cryptid. Like no Bigfoot hunting. No, that's ours.
Sorry. I thought maybe it was from that. There's a. Like there's Hardee's and Carl's Jr. and stuff.
Yes.
Up in the upper Pacific Northwest, it's known as Mothman Burgers. So I thought maybe they were the ones that sued him.
Is it really? Like, is it the name, or
no,
they just call it
that?
No. I've been fooled again.
Yeah.
That's what you're here for, though.
Yeah, Dan. I will say you did pause for a second when you were talking to me there. So I don't know if that was you or me. Zach, I saw a little flinch on your eye maybe when it was happening, so I don't know.
But I just have a tick.
No, Zach Zach just emotionally freezes.
Yeah, so. I just wanted to get that out there early. I've learned if you see something, say something.
If something's garbled, we will just cut it, and this interview will be 13 minutes long.
Yeah, it's just me doing that Mothman thing, and then you guys doing your plugs.
Somebody else's plugs.
Sounds like a great. I mean, sounds like a great episode.
I think I've said this before, but I had one Mark Maron interaction.
Oh,
and, not to brag.
I'm into it.
And we were on a show together in L.A. And I was smoking in the back of this church where it was, absolutely. And he did a set, asked to go on early, not what that show needed.
Fuck that guy.
A lot of people who came there just to see him, and then the show continues. And then. So anyway, he left, and I was just standing outside, and he looked at me, and then he went, ugh. And then he walked away.
Oh, man.
He didn't go – actually, he went more – it wasn't that disgusted. It was more just like the groan of like, I know I'm supposed to say hi, but I don't really want to.
That's fun.
Yes. No, it's kind of everything.
Did you do anything to bring it on? Were you just standing there minding your own damn business? Or had you like earlier in the night been like, hey, Mark, is he short for Marcus? Or did you do anything like that?
I was touching myself, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, jacking off.
Yeah.
I know this isn't Mark Maron's podcast, but to talk about stand-up for a second, I had a fun interaction with one of my comedic heroes. I love Jackie Cation. I always have. Mm-hmm. And this is maybe 10 years ago now, and I think about it every 5 seconds. We were at doing shows. I was in Orlando doing a comedy festival, and she was going up to do the big headliner show. And I love her stand-up. We'd had brunch with a group of people, so I felt like we'd kind of met. And like we'd had rapport. And I go up to her right before she goes on, and like maybe like 2 minutes, 3 minutes while the host is up. And I just go, excited? And she goes, what? And I go, for your set? And she goes, it's just stand-up comedy. And then walked away from me so she could stand somewhere else for another 30 seconds before she had to go up. And,
that's funny.
Oh, I loved it.
Well, all my interactions with these comics have been completely normal and cool. So
yeah, they love you. That's what she talked about afterwards. She was
people still think that I maybe saw a ghost that looked like Mark Maron when I tell them my story, which is that we sat on the subway and we talked for like 40 minutes about whether comedy was ever capable of saying anything groovy.
Whoa.
And I was like, cool, man. And I was like 19. I
That's
didn't know what I was
awesome.
talking about. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And everyone's
you did
like,
it. You win.
That didn't happen.
Oh. Wait, was that a Mothman Burgers? Was all that bullshit?
Yeah, no, it was real.
Oh, okay. Good.
Sorry, I cut you off, Zach.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think
story.
my microphone went out anyway.
Oh!
Yeah.
Gonna be out of sync.
Oh, wait. No, I should be back. Well, let me get this and then we can.
Do you want to start again?
We should probably start again and not talk shit about Jackie Cation.
That's not talking shit. I love her. I think that's the best version of it.
Talking shit.
Yeah. Again, split a cab with Jackie for 40 minutes, talked about comedy, everything normal.
Love it.
Great.
The fact that they're both 40
time.
minutes makes it
Yeah,
seem
they're
like
40
it's made
minutes
up.
exactly. That's how long. It's a podcast worth of talk.
Let me guess. Did you ever have 40 minutes with Bob Hope? That was just phenomenal.
I'd never I wouldn't even spit on that man.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Fucking traitor.
Where were you
Okay,
guys when
anyway.
Bob Hope died? Go.
His house.
Yeah, I killed him.
My hands around his cold neck.
shit.
Yeah. Now, real quick before we get whatever, now headline is different when you're doing a long time. But if I'm doing not that I'm headlining all the time, but if I'm doing a shorter set, I kind of like to have a little interaction with a comedian or somebody right before I go on stage.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy having just saying something to somebody right before I go.
I absolutely hate it when I go to a place and I feel like they either think, who knows what they're thinking about me? I know what I think they're thinking about me. And no one wants to talk to you because either they think you're somebody or they absolutely know you're not. And then you're just like, shit. I think I met you, or I don't know when we met, Zach, but I remember having a fun within Colorado with you. Remember this?
I do remember that.
That was a hell of a run. And there was like 7 or 8 different groups of comedians all coming together. And none of us really knew each other well, but we all had like a nice evening at that, the old, before Fort Comedy, that's what it was.
I remember you had a little fellow with you who was a comedian. He wasn't like... he wasn't
it wasn't my twink nephew, no.
No. But I only bring it up because I remember I had done a show with that guy.
Yeah, Matt.
In like Arizona or something, or New Mexico maybe. And that was also the only time I had ever had somebody not say they weren't going to pay me.
Oh, was it
I
him?
Getting paid.
Did Matt not pay you?
Were you not funny enough, or was it they ran out of money?
Yes, it was too. I was too dry.
Damn.
No, it was like it was like you're doing these road stuff, and there was about 6 people in this.
Right.
And they were like, do as much time as you want, and I probably did like 30. And a guy was like, "You should have done 45. I'm not gonna pay you." And then
You should have done a Dan talking to Marin plus 5.
Yes, yeah, that's how they do it. That's how they judge headliners.
Industry standard.
Absolutely.
Did you guys know? I know Leland Long, comedian Leland Long.
Yes.
So Leland and that guy Matt that didn't pay you, they came up together in Arizona, and they're really good friends. And it was funny because this was years ago on this tour, and we were, making nothing. We're driving around in a car that he rented, I think. I think his mom rented it. I don't know. But, his mom was dead. But anyway, so we're driving around, and one day Leland calls, and Leland's a newer open micer in New York. He just moved there. And we're talking, and he's like, "So you guys making any money out there?" And he's on speaker. And we're like, "No, we've only made like $8,000 so far." And he's like, "Oh." And like, I don't know if we ever told him we were lying, but like later on we told him that it was like, yeah, we broke even, but we're only at like plus 10,000 right now. And he's like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. I think we literally came home with $3.
Yeah, those are never for making money. Those, they're just for entertaining. The people, touching.
It's for
lives.
it's for making people I went to high school with think that, well, he's in a different city. I guess he's doing it.
Yes, it's mostly for the Instagram posts, for the still image with your dates listed on them.
Yeah, and you don't put the venue because fuck. You don't want these assholes Googling the bowling alleys you're playing.
Absolutely. Well, Patrick.
Yeah.
When you're not traveling the country, you're known as one of Brooklyn's great road dogs. But when you're not,
for
out
sure,
there, were you growing? You're from Iowa, right? You're
baby.
An Iowa guy. Were you an obsessive kid? Would you say you had a lot of obsessions, a lot of interests?
I sure did. Yes, I was very obsessive with stuff. I guess as a whole, I loved pop culture. And I grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere. So, like, it was kind of like once we got cable and, like, I really got into, like, MTV and, all that kind of stuff. Like, I loved everything. I loved movie stars. I loved music. I loved all that. Yeah.
What was the farm like?
Sorry,
what
Patrick
was the farm
just died.
like?
The farm was great. It was, what's that? Yeah, I had to do.
You have to do farm things?
Yeah, I grew up on a little farm. It was 5 acres. Actually, if you guys want to know an interesting thing this week, my parents spend half the year in Texas. They have a place in Texas they go to now. They're like, whatever that's called, sunsetters or whatever the fuck. And they,
Snowbirds?
I don't think that's it. Snowbirds,
I think sunsetting. I thought sunsetting is when you're going to die.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or sundowning.
I've heard they will,
sundowners.
but I don't believe it. But anyway, they're back in Iowa right now for the summer, and my dad just sent me a photo the other day, and he tore our barn down.
Oh, wow.
It was an old barn that we built in like 1989 because our previous barn had burned down, and so I don't ever remember a time technically where that barn wasn't there. And my dad just like sent me a photo of like some of the rubble on the ground, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I was like, "That's." It's like showing you a dead body of like somebody you hung out with a lot as a kid or something. I was like, I spent years of my life
context.
in that barn.
Yeah. That's a real dad text.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
This happened.
Can I tell you guys what I did to reply? I replied with, I went to some 9/11 photos and I found those men with the flag, putting the flag up in the rubble, and I just photoshopped that out and then put that on top of the stack of what wood that's left in the farm. And oh boy, my dad thought that was fun.
Did he have a good time with it?
Oh, he loved it. He laughed so much. Yeah.
Did he react ha ha ha, or does he text ha ha ha?
He laughed and then he called me a little bit later and was like, "How do you even do that? What do you got? You do it on your phone or on your computer?"
Oh yeah.
But I did grow up on a farm.
Did you burn the farm down? Yeah.
Sorry. Do that clean if you want.
Did you burn the farm down?
I did not. Our barn did burn down when I was like really little, and I do a bit about how it fucked me up because everyone was it was horrific. All of our animals we lost all of our hay and straw and stuff. But there was corn in the corn crib. But I was so little, and all it did was smell really good because it was like a bunch of
ask.
It was eggs and chickens and pigs burning.
Oh,
and it just smelled so good. And
it's like a Waffle House.
Yeah, everyone's like, "It's a tragedy," and I'm like, "Get the gravy, baby." But I did grow up on a farm. So,
what kind of pop culture are you getting into on the farm? What do you? what's
growing it kind of fits. I think when I was little, I loved country music, like absolutely. And I'm talking like I loved the history, like the old like classic. What you guys think of when you think of good country music, Western music, like Johnny Cash and Hank Williams and all that kind of stuff. But I also was obsessed with modern day, late '80s, early '90s pop country. When I was really little, we didn't have cable. So when I'd go stay with my grandparents, like for the weekend or something, they did have cable, and I would like sit on the floor in front of the TV and just watch CMT, country music television, all day. And like I knew every music video, I knew like the beats. I started memorizing because like in the corner it would tell you like the songwriters and stuff, and so I started learning all of like who. I was like, what the hell? This guy wrote this song for a guy and a girl? What? And like learning all that, learning the directors and stuff, and so I was obsessed with it. And I wanted,
Music video directors? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm talking about country music basically. But
okay.
I was obsessed with country music. I was obsessed with like Alan Jackson and Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood and Martina McBride. Like I just loved them all.
Tim McGraw?
Do they have,
Tim McGraw?
I did like Tim McGraw. A little cultural appropriation on his first hit, but after that it got good.
Yeah.
What did he do? Oh, okay.
My favorite...
what kind of cultural
I don't have a
appropriation?
deep knowledge of that era of country music, but I do really like Indian Outlaw because it's so absurd.
Yeah, and it's like a sampling Paul Revere and the Raider. Like it's weird. You know what I'm talking about? It's like sampling a song from the 70s. That was also cultural appropriate. Like
sure.
It was crazy, but it was I love that song. Don't Take the Girl. Sob. That music video, Dan, let me tell you, at the end of the video, it's all about Don't take the girl. It's all about how he doesn't want this girl to go fishing with him. He doesn't want this girl to go camping with him. But then he falls in love with her. And then she almost dies. She dies in childbirth. And he says, please don't take the girl. He's talking to God now.
Shit.
And it's really sad. But here's the thing. In the song, it's perceived she died. Because it ends with him taking his son fishing alone. And but in the music video, he takes his son fishing, and then you see the mom walking down. So the music video got to show that she lived.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's
really.
Good.
And then I got to tell people that on the bus, and they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, man?"
Yeah, well, were you on your own on this, or were there a lot of? I'm sure country music must have been pretty big in that area, right?
Oh yeah, it was really popular at the time. My sister, pretty much to this day, she's big time country fan as well. Yeah. And she's 6 years older than me, and so her and I would like share CDs and share tapes and stuff. And she like once I pulled back, she stayed in it. So when it was like 94, I was like 10. I made like a big thing about like, I am not a country music fan no more. I'm a rock and roll fan. And so I had like 30 CDs of country music, and I gave them all to my sister. And then we went to the mall and I bought 4 rock CDs, and I got like Green Day, Dookie, Alanis, Jagged Little Pill, Pearl Jam, No Code, Red Hot Chili Peppers, One Hot Minute. And I got those 4, and that started my rock music obsession, which then went the same way. I was like watching music videos, studying, trying to figure out who dies, who lives, in these videos. But country, like, there was a time where, like, I feel like if you went up to, like, my aunt when I was 7, and you were like, so tell me about Patrick, and she'd be like, he loves country music, he wants to be a country singer. That's all he talks about. He's trying to grow a mullet, he doesn't know how,
He doesn't know how.
Well, I just wasn't.
You got to sit and think about it.
It wasn't growing in good. I found some old photos of it. It just didn't look right. I wanted to be a country singer so bad.
Did you sing? Did you play a guitar?
I can't sing, but I would write songs and I would play guitar. And so, like, I would try to sing, but, later on I learned that was not going to happen. But I thought I could be a songwriter. And so, like, I would write all these country songs and, like, play them at, like, a family, and, for my family, and they loved it. But then my family, my dad's side of the family, we had, like, a band. So, like, anytime, like, New Year's Eve, Christmas, family reunions, 4th of July, there was an actual, like, honky-tonk band that was, like, uncles and cousins that would all come together. And I would go up there and be like, play my little country tunes and stuff, and everybody thought it was great because I was a little kid that looked so cute, and I was trying to grow a mullet. When I was 17, in rap metal bands, they hated that era. Like, they hated when I tried to do my Limp Bizkit covers.
Sure, yeah.
The Ice-T cover of Cop Killer. You did that one. Well, I think you struck on something. There's 2 things that I thought about. Was one, I'm also from the Midwest, where if you were a cool kid, you said you listened to everything but country.
Sure,
that was the thing. And if you met somebody who liked country, they were an idiot. And you said, "Excuse me, sir." So first of all, I guess that's just a fuck you. I don't know why I brought that up. But I was thinking that's a funny obsession, because the people I did know who were into country were very into it. Yeah. And didn't like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Sure.
And they were correct about that.
Well, I think
that interesting.
I think that there is, like, at that era when I was, because like I kind of moved out of it when I was 10. So like I was still so little that no one was doing the I only like country, or I like everything but country. It was still kind of just acceptable. We were all just kind of listening to what was in the ether, and like this was like Boot Scootin' Boogie, Chattahoochee. All these huge songs were like Achy Breaky Heart, like Achy. Right. I don't know if people understand. Like, from growing up, I know this is not correct. I'm not like saying this is how it was, but in my head, Achy Breaky Heart was like bigger than anything Prince could ever fathom.
Sure.
Like, because it was everywhere. It was like my grandma liked it. My cousins you go to the grocery store, you go to the fucking Omaha, you go to the Target, they're going to be playing it. Like, that's crazy.
Did you have to go all the way to Omaha to get to a Target? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, when I was a child, yeah. They eventually built one in Council Bluffs.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
But Patrick burned it down.
Yeah. I'm a firebug. Give me those lighters,
Achy Breaky Heart, it does hit everybody, right? Because you can play it in the store.
Yep.
You can. It's kind of sexual maybe, but not really at all.
Yeah.
It's fun for the whole family.
I feel like there's a like if I was a different guy, slightly different guy, I could make like a YouTube video essay on how that's the song that fucked us in terms of country music.
Okay.
Like because like that was like the first time that I can think of where there was like not hip hop but like a real pop music push with that song. Like it had a swing like a pop song and stuff. And then after that, after a while, then we get like she thinks my tractor's sexy and shit like that.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that was the other thought that I had was that you sort of pointed to the modern country that still tells a story.
Yes.
And that's I think was missing for me is that I love Hank Williams is sort of just it's not achy breaky heart, but it's some of the lyrics are very simple. We've spoken of it before.
Oh yeah, it's like a he's like a kind of like a I've always thought there's like this fine line between comedy, like country comedy songs and just regular country songs. Cuz like Hey Good Looking like is
that's what
silly,
I'm thinking of.
you know?
Yeah, it's silly. Or it's jaunty.
But
Jaunty
yes.
and not a story of by the end someone's gotten an abortion.
But then they do well, he did originally. Brick by Ben Folds 5 was a Hank Williams song originally. Yeah.
No, Dan,
God,
did
get
you
outta
believe
here.
that one? Did you believe that one, Dan?
Stop!
I
I know the tiniest bit of music history, and I'm just saying that the storytelling is important.
And then with Hank Williams, though, for example, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry is like, it's like that thing of like when you watch The Office and there's a really cringy moment. When I listen to like some of his original or maybe, recordings of that, I have that same thing where I'm like, I feel my eyes welling. This is so emotional the way he's singing it. And I think that's what I loved about it when I was a kid was I also kind of loved the idea of like, I was the youngest in my house and I was the youngest on my mom's side of the family by like good, like 7-8 years. So I liked that there was something that connected me to the adults a little bit. And like, they all like listened to country music on the radio and stuff. So like, it was kind of fun that they're like, oh, weird. Patrick knows all the words to Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, as a kid, how did you feel about Chet Gaines? How did the...
Okay, well, we're going to have to back... You're going to have to be... Are you talking about Chris Gaines?
Yeah, Chris Gaines.
I don't know Chet. Chet must be some other fella.
And just so you know, I was not listening for the last 5 minutes because I was Googling what his alter ego was.
And then you got it wrong.
I still got it wrong.
Yeah. Chet Gaines, Chris Gaines. So, do you know, Dan, are you familiar with all this?
This is the alter ego of Garth
Brooks. That's correct.
Who had emo bangs.
He did. And I was not there for it. That was like late 90s. I'll be honest, like, even though I gave all my CDs away very performatively and I like became if you asked my aunt when I was in 7th grade, stop talking to my aunt, by the way. But if you did, what's Patrick's deal? She'd be like, he fucking only likes Green Day and loud rock, like punk music.
Yeah.
But I still did follow like a couple people, like George Strait, Garth Brooks, Trisha Yearwood. I still like paid attention when they had songs come out. And so when the Chris Gaines came out, that was 99, I think, or 2000. That was when I like washed my hands with it.
But
like I stopped. I was like, not because of that, but around that time. And I remember because of that, not understanding it at all. I remember he hosted SNL as Chris Gaines, or maybe he just performed as Chris Gaines, and being so so confused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Now, would you have liked it more if it was Chet Gaines? Let's be
Loved
honest.
it. Love it. And he's doing Jamaica shit like Chet Hanks.
Sure, yeah.
Butt up.
Do the whole thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Can I tell you, I will.
Issue with that.
I have a quick little Chris Gaines story. I did on tour. I was on the road one time somewhere. And by the way, it's funny because I ain't left New York City in 6 years, really, to do stand-up. So I went to Scotland for a jaunt, but nobody talks about it, let me tell you. But I was in Oklahoma City one time, and I was doing a show, and I used to have a joke about how George Strait was better than Garth Brooks because George Strait writes hits, Garth Brooks writes shits. It was just a little silly nothing. And, it would crush, though. And, applause. And I was done with the show, and we were, like, whatever, just, like, hanging out at the bar. And the bartender's like, hey, I'm from the town that Garth Brooks lives in. And we were like, oh. I was like, that's crazy, man. And he was like, so when I was in high school, this is the bartender story. He's like, I was in high school. I worked at the Home Depot in that town. And Garth Brooks would just always go to the Home Depot because he was like, he's like a rich rednecky guy. Mm-hmm. And the store had like very serious policy, like don't talk to him. He has if he needs something, he goes to certain people. He knows who to talk to. He just goes in there to like kind of clear his mind and wander and stuff. And he did that. And so they never talked to him, but he'd be there like twice a week or so. And then one day there was this fucking emo ass dude walking around the store looking like whatever 50-year-old Garth Brooks sorta.
Oh wow.
And talking to everybody. Going to every employee and being like, now what is this? Oh, it's a ladder? Okay. Or whatever. Like, and like literally he did that for like a month. He would just go in and the bosses are like, oh, I guess that's not, we don't know who that is. And he would, and so that's kind of, I think that's how he worked out his character.
That's
because no one would ever talk to him.
Yeah, sure.
Like Garth, like, and so like he went to Home Depot and worked it all out.
That feels like just classic rich guy.
Oh yeah,
disconnected from the world.
Yeah,
bullshit.
And then like he'd leave and go fucking play baseball, like go to the summer training. He's on baseball. Yeah. He played for every baseball team.
No, he was doing that. Yeah, that Will Ferrell kind of thing. That's what I would do. I mean, if I had that, it would be courtside tickets to everything.
Yeah,
and making athletes hang out with me. Yeah, oh sure, mostly tennis.
Yeah,
basically early rounds of the U.S. Open, which I
think
I could probably do now. But still, I want them to feel bad
asking
about
if you can get next. Hey, can I get whoever wins? Let me get.
It would
mostly
be that. It would mostly.
It'd be funny if a ref was like in an NBA game. If the ref's like, "Hey, pass it to me,"
It'd be fun. Why don't they ever do stuff like that?
Enough.
Why don't they ever try to have fun like that?
Well, they've started to chastise the Lakers like their little boys, which I like. That's fun. Yeah. I don't know if you saw that. There
Zach, you're a huge Spurs fan. You must be so stoked.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought I heard on the last episode you were talking about how you were a Spurs fan.
You talking about Tottenham? I'm
no, I was talking about Tottenham. Oh, I thought it was the San Antonio Spurs. Sorry, never mind.
No.
I don't follow.
I thought I was wearing
that's great.
I don't follow
my
football.
Tottenham shirt, and then I got confused because I was wearing it earlier.
I thought that joke the second you mentioned it earlier. I don't like when people make fun of me for liking sports. That's what you were saying.
Is that what I said?
Kind of.
What's happening?
I
had another question.
Whenever I do shows, I always like to do a little look back at previous episodes.
Yes. Okay, so yeah. We'll
Dan,
edit all this out, but I did get annoyed at a guy who was giving me shit.
That was crazy. That was funny too, by the way.
Yes. Yeah,
Dan, you had a question?
No. I was just gonna say we could talk about country music all day long.
We can.
But I was gonna.
real quick, Dan. Real quick.
Yeah, go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
interlude because I do want to share one country music story.
Please.
So my dad, because we grew up listening mostly the Christian rock and classic rock.
Okay, I got a big Christian rock era too in me, so.
Of course, I believe it with that mustache.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
When I was and then when we were in my dad was getting remarried. We're from New Orleans. My dad was marrying
Christian.
a woman from the rural. You're not wrong. He didn't like it. He couldn't be a deacon because of it. But marrying a woman from the rural part of Louisiana.
Nice.
So to prep us for this,
yeah,
he would start playing country music in the car.
That's funny.
It was like just so you're ready to handle these fucking hillbillies. So we would listen to about 12 seconds of like Alan Jackson or whatever, and then it was like, nope, too much of that, and let's go back to Led Zeppelin. That was
two things. One, when they got married and the part where it's like, do you take, did she say, instead of I do, did she say, I guarantee?
She did, yeah.
And it's like, this is fun. You're from Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
There's a movie called Butter that is about the Iowa State Fair, and it's really bad. Or, I mean, I didn't like it. God bless. It's so hard to get a film made these days. But
it's a comedy.
It filmed in Louisiana for Iowa. And if you ever want to be able to tell the subtle difference, like that movie looks like it would makes more sense on Mars than in Iowa. Like just like this swampy stuff, like the whole nothing makes sense. Yeah. Everything's like looks like it's French. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, Iowa not known for its swamps or
No.
anything really.
They kept eating crawdads. I was like, what?
Sure. Well, we don't call them that, Patrick. We don't call them that. Watch out.
Uh-oh.
Watch yourself with that.
Did I just get canceled again?
You're done.
Crowder.
Yeah. Well, the other thing you want to talk about, Patrick, we're going to edit the last 15 minutes out, but the
Edit
other
out
thing
whatever the hell you want.
The other thing you wanted to talk about, which at least I want to talk about that you were listening, was a love, and it makes sense growing up in that area, but a love for Blockbuster.
Oh yeah,
which is something that I think all of us can relate to.
For sure. That it's such a weird. I feel like it's the most shared experience, like men and women of our age have, is the love or at least the fondness of Blockbuster, because it was so important. And as a little boy growing up on a farm, Blockbuster was like the only outlet I had to so many things. And my dad worked in Omaha he worked at a slaughterhouse, and he would come home. I think it was probably like every Friday he would come home and he'd go to the Blockbuster on the way, rent 5 movies and a video game for me. And then that was our weekend. We'd watch those movies or whatever. And it was amazing. And so and then, obviously I'd get to go with him sometimes too. There was a video store in our hometown called Captain Video that wasn't bad. But they wouldn't get everything. They would just get some stuff. But so you go to Blockbuster and you just wander in these shelves and there's all these movies that you're like, what the, things you never, Leprechaun. There's a second Leprechaun and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
Now was your dad going in fully looking like Leatherface, like the apron on, covered in blood?
No,
and he's just like, I'm looking for the comedy section.
It's a real carear. He'd change clothes and take a shower.
Yeah, they hose down.
He didn't. He still had the stink on him, though. You can't get that.
I was picturing that lady. There's a lady in
You can't get that stink off you. He gave me his car when he turned 16. When I turned 16, he gave me the vehicle he used to drive to work for 15 years.
Yeah.
It stunk so fucking bad, like dead cow, that I literally left it outside, all doors open, for 3 days straight, and it rained one of those days. But then it was great. Awesome car. Loved it. Suzuki Sidekick.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry. He would go in there after work, and it was really cute because I only knew the movies he showed us and the video game he gave me. I didn't know everything he was written. And then when I went to college, I happened to get a job at that Blockbuster Video, which gave me access to everything my dad had been renting my whole life. Woo doggy. He loved lesbian vampire movies. Shit. Ginger snaps, ugh.
Did that Blockbuster have a back room, or was it readily available? Or?
Oh, no. It was just on the shelves. Nothing too much, but it was if it was what are they, softcore?
Yes.
My dad got it. He watched every horror movie that came through there, every scantily clad thing. But it was fun. I mean, I thought that was so funny. And then when I would get some of that stuff in, as long as it wasn't too horny, I'd be like, hey, Dad, you might want to stop by. There's a, I don't know, big titty lady trying to bite a guy. You might like this one.
What was it like working there? I always wanted to know what it was like.
Did you never? Oh, I was trying to make a profound point on this because I had the realization, and it really fucked me up. Is that all I ever wanted to do was work at Blockbuster Video or work at a video store.
Right.
And then I did that, and then I turned 23. And what happens when your dreams come true, man? I'm not kidding, probably once a week I have a dream that I'm back working at Blockbuster, or they've started Blockbuster again and I'm there again. I absolutely loved it. It was everything. It was my every skill I was ever good at was there. I was good at the weird organization stuff, the weird memorization stuff. Hardest part of it was alphabetizing, and I'm pretty good at alphabetizing. I'm now even better, of course, after all these years. But
I still sing it. I still sing the song when I'm at the bookstore.
I'll do that when I get to the Z's, or when I'm sorry, that's
the
at the end.
Z's.
When I get to the LMNO, I always
You gotta
I remember so, but I absolutely loved working there. My best friends worked there with me when it was our freshman year, sophomore year of college was when we all worked together. And there was a thing they came out with called the Movie Pass, where you could rent 3 movies and you could just constantly trade them in. It was kind of like the one that AMC had. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But instead of going to the theater, it was you took them home. So you could take home 3 movies. You could watch them at home, return them the next day, and take home 3 more movies. You only pay one price per month. And we did that. My one roommate who didn't work there got one of those. So we were getting 3 movies a day from him. And then me and my friend both had 5 free rentals a week of like anything and new releases. And then we would take them to our apartment, which was like 3 blocks away, and we would just burn them all. And so we used our computer to make copies.
Oh,
and
I thought this was another pyro situation. Sorry.
No, I realized your reactions. You weren't on the same level as me. We would use a computer to rip the DVDs and burn them onto a new DVD, and then we would give them to our friends. And that was crazy because then, like, that was in the period. That was before. I don't know if you guys ever heard, like, somebody got caught doing that, and they got sued by Warner Brothers or something. But we didn't know that, so then we just started taking our Ethernet cable out whenever we burned them because we were like, some of them, when you start ripping them, they would connect to the internet immediately, and it was like weird. But I still, to this day, I have those like big black albums, that like CD albums, full of just every movie that came out from like 05 to 07 or 08. I have it on like a little burn DVD in my handwriting, you know?
This just like triggered a memory of when Napster was going on and like LimeWire, I downloaded and didn't know I was seeding a bunch of movies and TV. And they turned off our internet because they could prove that I had uploaded Simpsons season 4 episode 1 and it was just called that, and they said you can't prove that you didn't sell it to somebody, like email somebody and say give me $5, I'll seed this to you.
That's
and
crazy.
It changed my mind about a lot of things because I was like, I had no fucking idea that they could just see, they could just open a little door and see what I'm doing on the internet, because then they probably got a lot of questions.
Also, like, if you're like me, I was doing so many weird things on the internet.
That's what I'm saying.
That it is kind of, I mean, it's the most capitalist. They don't care unless you're crossing the line with money.
Unless you stole a Simpsons episode.
Sure.
But
I loved it, though. Absolutely loved Blockbuster.
Now, was your dad, when your dad's bringing stuff home, what kind of stuff is he bringing home? Is he bringing family stuff, or there's stuff that's maybe pushing the edge a little bit?
It was for like when it was stuff for the family or stuff, because my brother and sister were older, so like by the time we were like when I was in like middle school, high school, my sister's kind of off doing her own thing. My brother's out of the house, so it was kind of stuff just that he knew me, him, and my mom would like. So a lot of that era is like comedies. So it was a lot of like the Jim Carrey, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura 2 era, and then a lot of older action movies. Like he'd bring home like, I think it's kind of the thing of like the heyday of his, like he'd bring home like Mad Max and like things like that, like things he probably saw in the theater. Carrie, I remember him bringing that home, like things that he liked when he was younger, that even though I don't think my dad had the wherewithal to think he was like passing on the things he liked to his son so that his son might like, I think it was more like, I like this, and if he watches it and likes it, whatever. But I think that's kind of what it was, is it kind of like drove what I kind of liked to an extent, or what I didn't like, what I would rebel against. And I like that.
No, that happened. I mean, that was also because my parents were divorced,
Yeah.
Weep for me. I told you he got remarried, actually. But
it wasn't a surprise. Sorry. I didn't know if you what?
But so it was definitely a lot of watching what he just wanted to watch. It's the same kind of thing. So we watched like Dirty Harry. And when I was like 8 or whatever. And stuff like that. So I get that completely. I do remember, because when I would be at my mom's on the weekends, and that's when we would go to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of that kind of thing. And I remember having a lot of interest in the Halle Berry film Swordfish.
Oh, yeah.
And being like, hey, I've heard some interesting things about this Swordfish. Maybe we could rent that.
I've heard some really smart takes on this.
And I do wonder, I still to this day wonder if my mom knows that Halle Berry shows her bosom.
Her titties, her big boobs.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think she got paid like $1 million per bosom or something like that.
Oh, really?
For her.
Yeah, I remember that.
What's that, $7 million? I don't know what a bosom is.
It's a Total Recall situation.
Yeah. Total Recall's so good. I just rewatched that recently.
What kind of games was he renting? Sorry, not to.
Oh, all Nintendo 64 games. Loved it.
Okay.
Nice.
Fuck. He has no idea. My dad he doesn't know anything about sports or video games. He has no Like, he wouldn't be able to, like, maybe now he could, but, like, when we were kids, he wouldn't even know, like, if you said Chicago Bears, he wouldn't know what sport that was.
Yeah. That's
and
a good dad.
It was fun. It was, you know, he's like, but
just
you
like,
bring up lesbian porno,
he's
got it.
He knew about it.
Yeah. But like, if I went to Swordfish, my dad would know. He'd be like, oh, yeah, okay. But anyways, he would bring home Nintendo 64 games, and it was just like when Nintendo 64 was huge. So I would own certain games, but like I never had to own GoldenEye because my dad would be like, enough through osmosis that GoldenEye was a big game, and he knew who James Bond was. And so my dad would just rent GoldenEye every week, and then he would bring home stuff like when there was a new Olympics, there was like the Nagano Games or whatever game and stuff. And that's not something I would ever want to own, but it was like fun to play for the weekend and stuff. And I love that. And then another little tangent about my Nintendo 64, which is crazy. I loved it. I got it because my brother was in the Army. He got it really cheap from a guy who thought he was being promoted to like an officer. So he bought a bunch of shit, and then he did not get the promotion, so he stayed being not an officer. So he had to sell all of his shit. So this was like this was like the same couple. Not for that guy. I don't even fucking know who he is. But this is the same couple months. Literally, this is when the Nintendo 64 released, when they were like $500 or whatever. My brother got it for like $150, gave it to my mom to give to me for Christmas. So I get it on Christmas, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because we were so poor, like, growing up. I was like, how did I get a Nintendo 64 now?
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. But, and then I loved it, played it all through high school. But then my senior year of high school, a good friend of mine, Shank, that's his last name, but that's what I call him, he was like, hey, I never had a Nintendo 64. Can I buy that from me for like $200? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I sold him my Nintendo 64 and all my games for $200.
Wow.
Then 3 years later, we go to college, or we go to the same college. We live together. I get all my games back. I get to play it all the time. It's so fun. Then we leave college. He takes it all to his house. And then randomly, like 2 years ago, this is like 20 years later almost, I just get a box in the mail. And he's like, yeah, our TV doesn't work with this. So he just mailed me my Nintendo 64 and all my old games back. Oh, wow. And he's still one of my best friends, but it was like it was so crazy. And so I will sometimes go play games that I started in 1997. And like, that's wild to me.
Finally beat Pure Dark or whatever. Is that
yeah.
I was worried about another Chet Gaines situation. There is something, and I guess you get it. You know, Blockbuster at the time feels like infinite choice, right? When you're a kid or you're working there. But now we really have infinite choice. So there is something about that Blockbuster world that was like educational, but in a tangible way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Nice.
And Blockbuster, that whatever that is, that push to go wander a video store like that, is coming. Like, Gen Z is enjoying that. Like, there's articles you'll see all the time about, like, and in Brooklyn there's a video store and stuff now, and like, that is, it would not, you know how like we all moved away from cable, but now it's kind of like, seems like we're just all gonna get back to cable. Like, it kind of feels like that. Like, it would not surprise me if in like 5 years, if there are video stores kind of doing that again. And
you got to check out you got to go to the library, because they also have video games. And I have to go into the juvenile section and request them.
That's funny.
So they don't get stolen.
Yeah.
But like, I have to talk to a woman who's about 20 years older than me and just looks at me and just goes like, what do you want? And I go, it's Mario and Luigi's Inside Journey or whatever.
Could you get me Luigi's Haunted Castle it's for my
yeah.
It's for my adult.
My son.
It's for my son. He's definitely he's alive.
I'm not a pervert. Don't worry.
Yeah. I wonder. I actually wish I could have talked to the people that were renting stuff to my dad. When he's renting like Nagano Olympics and Ginger Snaps 3. This time it means come or whatever. There was a man at the Blockbuster. This is like, I mean, a tragic story in retrospect, but also maybe not. Maybe it was a wonderful story. There was a man who would just, because we had a whole gay section, and he would rent all the gay movies. And then on the weekends, he'd come in with his wife and his kids and rent like the family movies and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, I assume it was you think it was a sneaky thing, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe, I mean, he used the same account.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
That's pretty progressive, I feel like, for the Blockbuster.
Yeah. And we did it too. Like, we would get, like, they would send you dramas, and they'd be like, this is a drama, but you're like, that's two guys, they're going to fall in love for sure.
Sure.
And so we created our own little LGBT
so
section.
you did it. yourself.
Well, not me.
yeah.
It was me
take
and
the credit.
Russ.
Take the credit, Patrick.
Yeah, it was a couple of us.
Yeah.
Actually, and then you go back, and I was completely against it.
Yeah,
No, but it was. But yeah, so like, I thought that was
So
interesting.
did you have that control over categories and stuff as a Blockbuster employee?
That's what's fun. That's what I think is fun. I don't think. I mean, it's do what you want. It's like, who's going to pay attention. Like there was corporate rules that no, but then also it's like, well, I'm fucking here 40 hours a week and they're never here, so I can do what I want. And so we would do that, and it's like you do something just enough so that you don't get in trouble. Like they had a thing, like a DVD trailer that you were supposed to watch or listen to and have on all the TVs every day. And it restarted every 30 minutes. And it went, like, there's all these jokes about, like, how Blockbuster employees would go crazy because of how annoying it is, and people that can still, like, say verbatim the whole thing because you'd hear it so much. Mm-hmm. And we were like, well, that's stupid. So we just started watching movies. And then, I mean, it's a video store. And I watched the entire second and third season of Lost that way on DVDs while working, because I worked during the day at a very slow store. This was in like 2007, 8, or 2007, I think. And just during the day, I would just sit on the counter and watch Lost, and then I'd have 10 customers a day. And it was great. But you can just do what you want.
Great. Yeah.
That is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I miss it.
So I was going to say, this is my transition to maybe the last thing we talk about.
Mm-hmm. Calling your shot.
I'm saying. What I have an answer to your question.
Take it over. Take it. Start again.
Okay, let's do another take on that. Maybe an accent. Just try.
I have an answer. Yeah. I have an answer to your question. What do you do when you've achieved your dreams at 23? And it's very obvious that you're now a filmmaker. So you've seen every movie. You've seen all of Lost. That feels good. You get to make some movies. And so here's my question: is that we made a short together. It took a day to shoot.
Yeah.
Do you now think that every day you should be making a movie since we did such a good job?
Brother, that thing. I loved it. By the way, you were fantastic in it. I knew you would be, obviously. I casted it. I knew you'd be great in it. You were fantastic, above and beyond. And the weird thing so our camera guy, Alex, is wonderful. He's shot a bunch of amazing things. He's shot like stuff with like very famous and successful people. But because of that, he ain't cheap. And so because he ain't cheap and Patrick got a day job, it had to be quick.
So
that's why we were at like that, and he was an artist. So there was all these times. My mentality that day was insane because it's like so many smart choices. Like, we should do that again because the light wasn't right. And then in my head, I'm just like,
yeah. Well, you said the funniest thing that I've heard on a set.
I was so embarrassed that day.
He goes, well, if we do it like that, it'll look bad. And you go, well, we want it to look good. And we want it to not look bad, so we should do it the way that looks good. And I was like, "This guy's a genius."
Yeah,
I think there's something kind of encouraging about that too, because we had on the podcast a filmmaker who made a feature, and we were talking to him. He's a guy who didn't go to film school, yada yada. And it does seem like so much of it is about just having the right people around you, right? Having the right crew, the people who know what they're doing.
Yeah, and that's what I've learned over. So I literally have been wanting to make movies. This goes back my whole life too. But with this one, I've been on now. I never really fucked with being an actor or anything. I didn't really. I love stand up, and I always assumed I would become a famous stand up, and then I would get to go do stuff, and like they'd have me in movies, and then that really didn't pan out yet. And
wait till this podcast drops.
Yeah, exactly. But so I started doing acting classes and doing stuff and going out and stuff. And like, I really loved, I was surprised surprised not because I didn't think it was this way, but surprised because I just didn't know how communal and wonderful film sets are and TV show sets and stuff. And how even like the smallest thing, how everybody embraces everybody and it's all so teamwork. And so that's where I met Alex, who shot this, and I would have loved to have had 5 or 6 other people in there helping us out, but like just that thing, and knowing that I could be kind of vulnerable, because like and be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so if I'm doing something wrong, please tell me, and like things like that, like it was so freeing that it made things like making a short seem much more possible. And then I think what is shitty is we shot that in like 6 hours, 5 hours, something like that. It turned out pretty good. And I could have made a second. I could do that movie again using other alternate takes, and I think it would turn out as good because like every take was gold. And it's been well written. I mean, it's not like we didn't win anything yet. Like Dan, by the way, I got noticed you are nominated for an Oscar. So
yeah, thank you.
They're gonna do a short, best actor in a short filmed in Brooklyn this year. It's the first year. There's 10 nominees. So
we're gonna split the crowd with
but anyways,
Carmen and I are both up for the same
I don't want to get it's actor. It's not. They're doing it like the Independent Spirit where there's no gender. But
office characters, but you'll
thank you.
You'll figure it out.
But because it turned out good and because people liked it and I've had fun with it, and I also I wanted to go all out with it once we shot it and everything. I wanted to get a professional editor. I wanted to get professional color correction and sound and all that kind of stuff. And then I was fucking around with it enough that I was like, I think I can make this work. And it turned out okay without doing all that. Now I feel like I can do this. So to answer your question, I think I can shoot a great movie every day.
Great movie every day. That's what I mean. That's what it sort of bothered me that I was like, oh man, all I had to do was like memorize, 6 pages of stuff.
You guys,
and you can do that in a night. And then
you guys were so good. And I've given you no credit for this which I didn't. I kind of was like, maybe I should have. But like, you riffed some really funny stuff that's in it, and you guys both were so good, and you were both on book, but then also like willing to move around with
loose.
it. Yeah. Carm, you did a thing, and like, not to get too in the weeds about whatever. This isn't inside the actor studio or whatever, but like watching it, I love the magic of how everything works because like in the room filming it, I knew that you were crushing it, and I knew that Carmen was doing great. Like, I'm not saying that she wasn't crushing it, but it was in the room obvious that you were doing well, and since your role was the bigger role, like in terms of like your presentation, that was great. But then when I started watching it to edit, I was like, oh my God, Carmen is crushing it. She's just, it's all smaller stuff that the camera got that I don't see in the room. Yeah. And, putting it together was insane. It was so fun. And between us now, you can edit this out. One thing that bums me out, and it's my fault, not yours. Or no, it's nobody else's fault. It's my fault. It could be, we put some on you, I guess. But
I'll take the blame.
You're the iconic hallway scene where you walk into the tech room that sets up why you're in that creepy ass blue room and everything.
Yeah.
So here's what happened. You walk in every shot, you walk out holding the laptop so visibly. And in the hallway, we didn't have the laptop. And I tried everything. I forgot
about that.
No, I know. And it's one of those things where I'm like, oh, well, this is why you don't make a movie in 6 hours. This is why you do more takes.
I just remembered, this is the creepiest thing I could admit to, was I went to a special taping where they had to do pickups afterwards. And it felt really weird, but we all had to clap, and we all had to do a soft laugh, and then a big laugh, and then a clap.
Well, that's honestly, that's
actors.
What we all should do.
We should all do that. When the comic came back out, and I don't know her well enough, and I didn't know the crew well enough to go say anything, she had flipped her hair from the back to the front, and I was like, it's fucked. And I was sitting with Jay Welch, and he goes, "It's not your problem." And I was like, but it's, and I was like, I need to go up to that creepy man and be like, "Excuse me, as a creepy man myself, I noticed that her hair was back the whole time."
Real quick, I went to a taping of this is years ago, the John Oliver stand-up show, and there was a comic.
I was also there.
Okay, I don't remember this guy. I don't remember his name.
I just wanted to say it.
Fantastic.
We're all there.
Well, there was 3 seasons.
Competition, Dan, but okay.
It's not a competition. I'm just saying we were in the same room. We didn't know each other. Isn't that crazy?
I've also been to tapings. All right.
I knew you.
I lit up.
Somebody, I can't think of who it was, but a comedian, when he was coming out to do his set, brushed past an AD or something, and the AD had a fanny pack on with a pin sticking out of, or pencil sticking out of it. And the pencil stuck to the ripped shreds in his jeans, and he did his whole set with a yellow number 2 pencil stuck to his jeans. And he had a great set.
Yeah, sure.
And then at the end, when they come out for pickups, when he walks out, he's like, "Did you guys fucking see this?" And none of us noticed it in the moment. But he's like, I got a pencil stuck to my foot, and then when we get back there, I pull it off, and I'm like, "What?" And everybody yelled. They're like, "You can't!" And so now I got a pencil glued to my jeans so that it fits the same level for the shots. Yeah. And when you watch it, he was a black dude, and he's like, "Everyone's gonna think I'm just trying to do some fucked up fashion thing, like, oh, that's the comic that has the pencil stuck to his leg or whatever."
That's his
It was so crazy. Yeah, that was very funny.
Absolutely.
Well, I also watched a comedian bomb hard on that special, and when it came out, he had a good set, which is beautiful now.
They sweetened it?
Oh yeah, they fixed it. And when I was 24 or whatever, 26, when I saw that, I was like, "This is an art." And nowadays, I'm like, "What a beautiful editor."
Well, I always hated that they would cut to us, and it would be a line of open micers.
Oh yeah,
we all came together.
Yeah,
as like a unit, and they would cut to us being like, "Ha ha ha!" That's what I'd go. I didn't laugh at that fucking thing. I didn't laugh at that one. Fuck you.
Nick Thune's special, one of his specials, the whole front row is like Casey, John Belancini, just an entire. It was like everybody left the Pine Box, got on a bus, went to that taping, and it's so strange.
Yep.
I love in any reaction shot of any stand-up, there's always one person just stone-faced. It's always fun to see. There's always 3 people laughing and one person just completely uninterested at all.
I don't know if this is because it's real or if it's a joke or what, but in one of Steve Burns' specials, they cut to the audience, and it's him, but in a military uniform.
It's fun.
And I don't remember if that's his brother, and that was what they did, or if it was a joke that he did, and then on the podcast where they asked him about it, he's like, "Oh no, that was my brother who's in the military, and it was actually a bit." You know, I don't know if he has a brother in the military, but I do know watching it. Once I heard that, it was really funny to be like, "Oh fuck, that's either him or his brother looks exactly like him."
Someone did. Oh, Chelsea Peretti did it in one of the greats.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
It's
cutting to her.
Well, Patrick, tell us. I don't want you to spoil anything, but tell us a little bit about what this short is. You're so damn proud of.
It's called "Hi, I'm Kayla the Nanny," and it is it's fun. I don't know if you guys are this way, but like I have short scripts. The next thing I want to shoot, I literally started writing in like 2007 or something. Yeah. So it's like it takes forever to do anything. This short is it came out. Or I literally thought of it like at the beginning of April. Came up with the idea, wrote a couple drafts, sent it to some friends, got it back, and it's just about a woman who shows up for her nanny job, and ideally the backstory, like she's had a phone interview, she's been texting with the family and stuff, and then when she shows up, the husband's like, blah, blah, he's over there, get out, I gotta go. And then she can't find the baby. And is the baby missing? What happened? Did she lose the baby already? And then you realize that it just kind of divulges into the dad isn't a dad. He's not even a husband. And he just has some weird, unknown, is it a fantasy? Is it a kink? Who knows? Where he wants to pay someone to pretend to watch a kid. And I just think that's funny. And I love the idea of being like, that character was like a character, like an idea. But then when you're doing it, Carmen and I were talking, and she's like, "Well, it's kind of like, all the like a lot of female comedians can sell like feet pics and shit now, and it's kind of the same thing. It's like, well, I guess it doesn't. If I'm not getting hurt, I might as well make the money. And so I love the idea of like the gig worker, the nanny having to be like, well, okay, it works.
Yeah, sure.
And then and so. I thought it was fun. Yeah.
When you were crafting this lonely pervert, you immediately thought of Dan.
I did. I actually I started making it as a cartoon, and I just used Dan as a reference. So I got a bunch of anime of Dan.
I just want to say I was really flattered because you asked me to do it by replying to a picture of food I had cooked, and I thought it was just that you were like, well, this guy's domestic. We'll just have him.
It's
and
really
you were like,
funny.
no, I was just replying because I thought you were going to miss the message.
I have this theory because Dan's got a lot of Instagram followers, and I got a theory that when you have a lot of followers, you probably miss messages more. So my go-to, like if you're booking somebody on a show or if you need to get somebody's attention, is I reply to a story post because usually that means they'll see it. But then, I never pay attention to what the story post. I'm glad it wasn't like we buried Dad today.
Dog. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But yeah,
just send me a fire emoji. I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
It was, but yeah, it was so fun. And also I was planning on not being in it. I was planning on having Alex play that part at the end. But he had done, since we shot kind of almost in chronological order, I didn't want my shaky ass, obvious different cameraman to be too much. So I have a little section at the end, and that's funny because people, like, all my, like, people I grew up with are like, we saw you at the end. And I was like, I fucking made the thing. You know, I told you.
How'd you get that gig?
I sent an email.
It's crazy. But yeah, and then also, like, I watched it. We did there was a screening, this Millennium film group in Bushwick. They do, like, a screening night. And you submit your films, and anyone can go and watch. Anybody can submit. You can watch stuff, and it's a lot of experimental stuff. I might say weird. I don't want to judge it like that, but some of it is. But then some of it's just amazing little short films, and I got to watch it on Friday night with an audience, and also with an audience that had kind of been watching a lot of serious-y, more arty films. And so as soon as ours started, a lot of silence. Nobody knows what to expect. And then when your Taylor Swift era joke hit, people are like, what? And then it just picked up. And by the end, getting huge laughs and like people and stuff. And that was really fun. And in 7 minutes or whatever, cultivate that. Whereas if I would have opened it and been like, hey guys, it's a comedy. You can laugh. Please laugh. Look at it as jokes. Then I bet it would have been. And that was the rewarding part. Because like stand up, you write a joke, you go say it on stage, you know right away. You get the endorphins right away.
No, I think that's sometimes like the trickiest thing when you do stand up with trying to do anything else is you don't get immediate gratification, and it's very hard. You write something, it's like, oh, I guess I can show my mom or whatever.
Yeah.
And
they say that like the endorphins of saying you're going to do something are as good as doing it. So like telling your friends you're going to write a book and that you have an idea hits you as hard as having a book that you get to show your friends. And so like that's why you don't do a lot of stuff. That's what's held me back on. That's why I have scripts that literally started when fucking George Bush wasn't president.
That's it. I just saw how easily we could all become con artists. Becoming one of those socialites who goes, like there's a New Yorker article about just somebody being like, oh, I'm working on a book. It's 6,000 pages long, and you're like,
and people do that. Like a guy sold a whole what do you call it? Fantasy series to Netflix, and got a bunch of money, and it was all bullshit. But he was a con artist and stuff.
I did see that. Yeah,
I love that. Will say they should let him do it. Let him do it.
Yeah,
for the short films. For my birthday, I believe it was my birthday. My lady got me a pass to the Sundance Film Festival. Like you could stream a feature and then all the shorts. And having watched a lot of the Sundance shorts, keep making shorts because my God, these are bad.
And that is, it's so funny because I feel like with stand up, and I don't do stand up every single night the way I did for a good decade, but like with stand up, I learned it all through doing and whatever. And now I'm at a point where like I have a pretty good point of view of stand up, my stand up, blah blah blah. But with filmmaking, everything's brand new, and I don't know stuff. And when I started doing stand-up, when I was in Iowa doing stand-up my first, 2 years, I would go watch comedians I didn't know who lived in New York and L.A. on YouTube, and they all, some of them were good, but it was all like, well, this is exactly what I'm doing. Like, I can make this. And I did the same thing as I love going and watching, Oscar-nominated shorts, Sundance shorts, Slam Dance shorts, because some of them, sometimes you'll get something that's genius and costs $5 million. But some of that shit is no money, no budget, and is also good. And some of it's dog shit. Yeah, there is a lot of dog shit out there too.
Obviously there's great stuff, but some of them are just it's my first day of school and I'm trying to get a sandwich.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that I live for going to a film festival like the shorts. When it does get weird and experimental, because otherwise the option is something very expensive that's basically a version of Lost in Translation if it weren't funny and they were just in Chicago and it's just two people talking and you're like, this is so bad. And then all of a sudden the last one I went to, it was that another one, and then there was a music video inspired by the second Joker movie where he was just dressed as the Joker. And I remember during the Q&A, I got Matt and Adostip real good because I was like, I'm going to ask if they'll show the music video again. Like cackling. I had to leave the room.
Yeah, I love that. That's what I think is so funny about. Not that I know exactly what I am. I'm a guy who made this short with some friends and it happened to look okay. It's not even great. Like you guys were great, whatever. But like I know every second that could have been better, and I know that if I would have paid a lot of money, what I think sucks now from coming from that creative era, the creative side, is that when I watch something that looks amazing, that's beautiful, that has and it's a narrative, it's not some weird thing. Mm-hmm. And it just fucking sucks. Like the writing is terrible, the acting is terrible, and you're like, you guys had all of the resources,
right,
except for the most important ones, you know.
Well, that's the Duplass story that they had money and time and the right DP and all this stuff, and like nothing was working out, and then they finally make this movie where I think it's Mark Duplass just trying to leave a phone message.
His voice. He's trying to set his voicemail.
He's trying to set his voicemail, and he does it 26 times, and it's basically a comedy.
It's him like devolving into chaos. And that's great. I really love. I came up, working at Blockbuster in the late 2000s. I love Duplass movies. I love The Puffy Chair, and I love all of that Joe Swanberg stuff that came after that and stuff. And that mixed with like classic, like not to sound like but like Cassavetes and stuff. You can do fucking anything you want as long as you can make it look okay. And that is a lot of times the thing holding me back is I can't make it look. I started learning how to make cartoons, and they're not good cartoons, but I think the cheat with cartoons is as long as they look like whatever, they're fine. Like if you can make out what's happening, it's good. And so I took a bunch of scripts and sketches and stuff that I've written over the years that I just didn't have the confidence to get an actors and team to shoot. And I just made little cartoons in my off time. I was watching the Chiefs Super Bowl run 2 years ago, and I just, during every game when I'm losing my mind, I'm just drawing and animating on fucking Photoshop. Wow. And making a bunch of stuff like that. And it was all just to, I kind of satiate that thing of like, I poured time into this. I wrote this thing. I want people to see it, even if no one does, even if 10 people do, whatever. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I lost my train of thought, so
that's great.
Unlock the gates.
Well, I think we should talk for another hour. So,
episode 2.
Yeah. Where can we find? Where's the short at? On YouTube, I imagine. Where are the?
Yeah, you can watch it on. You can watch it on YouTube. Patrick Hastie. If you go to patrickhastie.com, that is that'll take you to my link tree.
Oh, sure.
And then it's on there. You can like click through to there, or just go to YouTube and search Patrick Hastie. And then we'll see. I submitted it to some random stuff just because it's my first foray into this. Mm-hmm. I showed it to some people, friends of mine who've done stuff, and I'm like, you tell me what I should do. And then they did. Yeah. And hopefully we'll do some more screenings around New York and stuff for like random film nights and stuff like that. So, who knows? Yeah. And then also I don't know how you guys are with stuff, but like, I love it, but I'm also like, now I'm like, I want to move on to the next thing. Like I've already, since we wrapped, I don't know if you guys know Will Carey, friend of the show, but Will Carey has a band called Skiplag who fucking rule. They're like a pop punk band and they're so good. Mm-hmm. And I, without their permission, animated an entire music video for them for one of their new songs and then sent it to them and was like, you guys like this? And they do, but then they don't want to put it out for like till their EP comes out. And so I'm like, okay, well that was nothing. Like, I just want to do this to get, and so sure. As long as I'm still, I love it. I hope people see it. I hope it keeps going, and I hope it helps Dan. I hope it helps you. I hope it helps Carmen.
Oh, I sent it to my agent, and I got a thumbs up emoji on it.
Nice.
There you go.
So, but it was immediate, so she didn't watch the whole 7 minutes.
Nah, she don't know.
Just said.
A lot of people didn't watch the full 7 minutes. You know what? The funniest thing I think that's in it, as the person that wrote it or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. And in the edit, you would know if you read the script, so you know there's like stuff that's changed because the edit changes. The fucking Elle Fanning stuff is so I feel like that's kind of the crux that makes it, because that says more about your character than anything else. And just the like simple, I literally had to pull it from a part where like we weren't even shooting, because the way she says like, Elle Fanning? Is that Elle Fanning? Like, because that was just so perfect. And yeah, and the little, that was done before you probably even said yes. Just me photoshopping fucking pictures of you and Elle Fanning.
I think anytime anyone emails me and says, "Do you want to do something?" I go, "Yeah."
Yeah,
so
there you go. Good to know.
I wouldn't say
I'm
that.
sorry.
Maybe announce that.
I'm sorry to say
over
that.
on airwaves, but
I never asked Carmen. I just said come over that day. She'll pretty much do anything if you give her an address.
yeah, sure. Now, Patrick, it feels silly to say what advice would you have for someone who wants to get into country music.
Yeah, no,
but
I
guess what would be a gateway? What would be aside from Chet/Chris Gaines?
I guess if you want to get into it as a fan,
Sure.
if you want to get in, if you want to become a fan.
Now, Patrick, I don't want to insult you, but I don't know if you're the guy to go to for I want to become a country music musician.
No. I got guitars on the wall.
Sure,
Grow a mullet.
God, if I could, I would. I think I can tell you how to become the country fan I was. Sure. And there's, like, if you want to do that, there's a bunch of albums. Shell, the gas station Shell, the truck stop Shell, the fuel corporation, put out a bunch of CDs in the late 80s and 90s that were, like, music compilations. Okay. And they were always, like, I think it was called Long Road Home, and it was, like, sponsored by Shell Rotella C with XLA. And I don't even know what the fuck any of that is. But they put out like 2 or 3 in the early 90s that are top to bottom just banger country songs. And just like the best versions. And then what I say with every type of music, anything, because now I grew up and started listening to good music eventually. I say listen to these. The musicians that I'll send somebody a playlist. I'll be like, if you like something, go follow that. Go listen to all of that person's stuff. If you don't connect with something right off, fuck it. But god dang, there's so many random ass country Colin Ray and stuff. Like there's all these random country, Clay Walker, who had amazing 1 or 2 songs. And we don't remember them, and you don't ever want to Google their politics anymore.
Well, sure. Yeah. Leave the wiki.
But I got like right here, you can't really see on the camera, but that's John Prine is one of my absolute favorites.
I was going to ask about John.
And he passed from COVID.
Yep.
And he was like one of the first celebrities. And then right after that, Joe Diffie died of COVID. And I was like, well, that's what happens. God takes a good one, God takes a bad one. You know?
Now, John Prine did look like he was dead for the last 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, he is that
phenomenal artist.
There's John. I loved John Prine when I was a kid because he was this name. He was like Randy Travis, but as an adult, finding out like how important he was and all the stuff he wrote, and just really one of the best songwriters of all time. But it's crazy. I didn't know he was as beloved as he is. There's a great living room concert that he did like in 17, 18. In Toronto, and it's on YouTube, and it's like him playing in a living room with like a packed crowd, and the actress from Schitt's Creek that plays the daughter, whatever her name is, Annie, whatever,
yeah,
she's just sitting front row and like singing, not like focal point at all, like she's just there, but she's singing along to every word, and you're kind of like, I don't know, maybe I just being weird, but I'm like, I'm surprised that she knows the same song I listened to when I was on the farm when I was 10. You know,
makes me like. I didn't dislike her, but makes me like her a little bit more.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to plug, Patrick?
You can just go. I don't know. I do stuff. I'm on Instagram, Patrick Hastie. I guess I don't like. I don't know. There's nothing left. I miss Twitter when it was good. Yeah. I don't have a website anymore because I found out Wix was owned by the IDF, and like there's just so many bad things.
Yeah. Sure.
And so. Just go to Instagram, click on some links. I got some other shorts on there. I got a lot of comedy stand-ups. I got a stand-up special called I Will Fight All of You.
All of you. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm so
and
close.
it's fun. And don't worry, no reaction shots because it's only 2 camera shoot and no one planned on putting it out as a special until 2 months later. But But yeah, so that's out there. And if somehow you loved this podcast and you loved, especially when I talked about my dad, go watch my special because there's a lot of great talk about girl on there.
And just look up Patrick's dad too.
Go find him. When my special came out, I do a bit about like he's Carl with a K, none of this pussy C bullshit. Sorry, I said the P word. You can bleep that or whatever. But my dad, when they're doing their, what did I say, sundowning or whatever in Texas, when after that came out, they told people that my special was out, and an old man, like a 90-year-old guy, watched it and rode his bike past my parents' like house trailer thing and was like, "Is that Carl with the K up there?" And just the way my dad giggled, and like immediately called me, and I thought that was so silly.
Oh, that's delightful.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, thanks, man. This was great.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are great. I appreciate you both. I like what you do. Good people.
Of course. We're
Nice.
going to whittle this down to a nice tight 5 minutes. But it was
Please
a good convo.
do. Send me the rest, and I'll put out in my own. I'll start my own show. Hold on, let me get this clean. You are listening to the Hastie Cast today on the Hastie Casty. You are listening to the Hastie Casty today on the show. I got Zachy S and Danny W. Okay, just send me that. And I'll...
Perfect.